Hey, Gracia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Been a little while, I guess. Well, it's March 27th, so it was over a month ago that you handed in your portfolio. So, how is it feeling now?
I feel like it's been better, I guess. Like I had a bit of trouble like adjusting my routine to like, oh yeah, like now the portfolio is over. I don't have to work on that anymore because there were
Yeah,
days that I woke up and oh, I had to work on my portfolio,
yeah.
so it's
Oh,
getting
that
used
must
to
be kind
that.
of nice, although, yeah, like you said, a readjustment, but probably nice to switch gears, I imagine.
Yeah, I've been relaxing a bit more
Nice.
yeah, with the results already and yeah, it's been easier.
Yeah, that's great. And as I feel like your portfolio score more well, it's very evident in others too. But when I look at your portfolio score, it confirms absolutely that they were marking super tough this year. I don't know about you, but this is your third time applying, and obviously we've chatted extensively, and I've seen your portfolio a lot from the various years. And yeah, it really did. Like, I mean, didn't you get perfect on personal work in your second application and your first application, or
Yeah, on the first and second I got perfect marks, which
wow.
I don't, but I feel like almost no one got like perfect marks on personal work, which is
Yeah,
surprising.
I know. Despite like, I mean, we're gonna have a look at this in a moment, but like just a tremendous amount. And it's not just the amount, it's the quality too. Like you both have a lot and great personal work and that has been confirmed in previous years. So you're like, okay, I'm not gonna change too much. And then you lose a mark suddenly. It's like and your layouts too was a big surprise for me. Your storyboard was a super big surprise for you, me, I imagine for you too.
Yeah, it was a bit surprised, but I don't know, like I tried to understand it, but
Yeah.
uh I don't know. Maybe we could talk about it. But
Yeah, as we go. So let's see. What did you get in year two in your second application again?
I think
Mark.
it was one mark 88 and on the
Okay.
first one was 93, so yeah.
Wow, that's wild, isn't it? So they've been getting progressively harder marking as they go, but then also the average has been going down. So I guess, yeah, wow. I don't even know what to say about it. But either way, congratulations. You totally deserve
Yeah.
this. And don't second guess the marking at all. Just, you've done this so much and you've improved steadily each year. So yeah. Anyways, let's just go through it, eh? Let's have a look at your whole portfolio. So figures, how are you feeling about I feel like these figures are super strong. Um, yeah, and yet, oh, okay. So only one mark. Well, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I guess leave one mark just in case. But yeah, these feel wonderful to me. I remember we went through a lot of them, and
Mhm.
that's good, right? Like it's really nice to be able to have a huge selection of figure drawings and then to select versus like, okay, I'm going to do just four and really try to make those four as good as I can. It's like, well, no, I mean, better just to do so many, and you did do a ton of these. So, any thoughts about figure drawing or advice for other students?
Yeah, I think I'll say that, I mean, just do a lot of them because it will become easier to just like improve and also like at the end you will have like a lot of them and if even if you have like one it's that is really good you could also edit them like on
Mm,
Photoshop later but do the heavy work on paper because it'll look better there.
yeah.
I just edit like some parts, for example, I think just like the shading or like if I had like a lot of like pencil mark, I'll just like just shade it a bit, but not really changing anything, like not changing
Yeah.
like the structure or anything
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, which is it's unfortunate that I have seen some that do that. They do seem to digitally edit it as we chatted about in some of our sessions. And yeah, that I feel very conflicted about that. I feel like and you're just really doing yourself a disservice in the future because you're gonna have to do this in class and the teacher's right there behind you watching you do well, I mean not all the time, but circles around and eventually he's going to see you work. So you need to be able to do this like one way or the other, whether you learn now or later. But anyway, did you have access to local figure drawing classes or did you use photos?
No, unfortunately, I did not. I
No.
just use Croquis Cafe,
Oh
and
yeah.
also I didn't have like I've seen people say that you should have the bigger pad, which I've used it when I was at art school, but I didn't had it like here in Peru. We don't really have that kind of
Yeah,
like art supply, so I use like
sure.
a smaller one, which it did the job. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll say it just work with what you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good feature to highlight because not just in Peru, but in so many places in the world, there is a limited supply of art supplies and life drawing classes or even open life drawing sessions. You'd have to just, you know, yeah, it would be so hard to source it live. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this is something that I think Sheridan isn't quite. They say that it should be live, but I mean, it's very difficult for many people, and that's a tricky thing to ask.
Mhm.
Um, Great hands. I don't care what this number says. I mean, well, 80 is still great, really. But like, yeah, I remember we looked at your hands from 2 years ago and then last year, and we're like, oh yeah, this is so much better. This is a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 at least. And then, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're wonderful. Um,
I
yeah.
think they are even better than the ones that got
Oh
full
yeah.
marks, like the first try that I did.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I think if you resubmitted those, you would see like they would have been lowered, you know. I think
Oh, yeah, for
that's just
sure.
realistic. You did well in your character, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
One mark. It's just, it's almost like they have to take one mark off. They just they're not giving out perfects anymore. It's just the maximum you can get is 14 out of 15. Well, this is great. We had many revisions with this character, I remember. Just like adding, I think the biggest thing was we kept adding a little more spice, a little bit more
Yeah.
of that like kind of personality, leaning her forward, getting a more punk vibe over time, right? And then like
Mhm.
dropping sort of the one arm hung, the other one up. Um, yeah, really fun. Still like this character many
Yeah,
couple months later.
yeah, even after that, like yeah, I've heard people that are like, ah, no, I've looked at this so many times, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still like very proud of my rotation. I
yeah.
like her. I feel like
Mhm.
even like she could exist in an animated like world or like TV
Yeah.
series or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. She could. I can imagine animating her, and I think that is always a good sign, right? That we
yeah,
can physically manage it. Okay, let's see your short animation. It's right here. Wonderful. How did this one do? I didn't actually look at your short animation, Mark. Wow,
yeah.
13. That is just Oh, I don't know. This is wonderful. Yeah. You even have that little secondary action bounce of the straw, which I really like. And the lid rising so that it actually
Mhm.
lifts from the actual body, which is really fun. Yeah, wow. I think it's wonderful. Maybe a little bit more of a squash at the beginning. It's funny, I haven't seen it for a while, but
Yeah.
you always notice little things every time, right? But yeah, a little bit more of an anticipation perhaps, but I mean, 2 marks is
Mhm.
a bit harsh, but anyway, I think that's great. Um, yeah. Anything that helped you do your short animation or any tips that you'd provide to others?
I think it was easier because I did like a lot of thumbnails before doing my animation, so like I didn't
Okay.
have to commit to like an idea. So
Sure.
yeah, I feel like doing a lot of thumbnails will help before like actually animating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. That is a good help. I like actually like planning an animation in my sketchbook sometimes, like just on paper,
Hmm.
before I even get it to a screen. I don't know. I like drawing it out. I like kind of testing the different options. Um, And also drawing on paper makes you not able to like copy and paste and just adjust, which sometimes is a
Yeah.
great thing. Like it's really nice to just redraw
Hmm.
because each time you redraw, you might tinker with more than what you intend to, and you end up with some different results each time. Um, yeah. So wow, 5 marks off storyboards. Obviously, storyboards are hey, and I wish you could have submitted two portfolios, Grazia, because you did three storyboard like long storyboards, 12 panel storyboards, and you picked, you know, what I guess you felt was sort of it fulfilled the criteria of this year's storyboard the
Mhm.
most. But there was this other wonderful one with the dogs. And it was so charming. And I don't know, now I'm so curious, what would have that scored if you'd submitted that one?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, yeah. We really don't know. But okay, so the platypus, I love this. It's so straightforward. It's like, you know, you couldn't possibly confuse this. Platypus running towards house. I guess no, it's funny. Yeah, now that I have some distance, like one thing is like, how do we know that this is his house versus the house he's
Mm.
running to? But then in the second panel, when we see him hold something, it does kind of feel like, oh, well, this he's trying to collect up the pieces, so it's probably his house. And then the rabbit arrives. And then here they are working on we probably should have reversed this panel just so that he's consistently maybe facing one direction the whole time.
Mhm.
But yeah, small thing here. And then here they are, nice fixed up, repaired home. Really great. It's nice, like problem, solution in progress, and then solved kind of.
Mhm.
So that's yeah, that's great. Um, and then with your storyboard, so there's a wraith. So one thing about this that I really liked is you color each of them so that because I mean it's fairly obvious they have different hair, but it's always nice in a storyboard to be just a little bit more clear than you need to be, right? Just a little
Mhm.
bit extra. I think that was a really good touch so that we can always keep track of who's who. Um, yeah, so he gets determination when he sees his wife and baby in the audience, and then he suddenly gets a second wind or third wind or whatever, and then he launches forward and wins the race, and then here they all are together. Really great. I don't know. I'd really have to go through this with a fine-tooth comb to find those 5 marks, but this is as clear as it gets for me. I don't know. It's so yeah, I don't know. Tyrion went through it too. We all went through it and had a long look and you know, I don't know. Very big mystery. Okay, so 14 out of 15 on your layouts. So, and how did you score? So this was your layout from last year, your interior. How did
Mhm.
you score on this last year again, Grazia?
I think it was the same mark.
Okay,
Yeah.
14. So I don't know. I guess they're just like they flip back to last year really quick. 14. Okay, let's keep it the same. No, I don't know. But you did a whole new exterior, so that was great. Really nice. Yeah, nice. I really like how the scale is very evidently moving backwards in space. Like you can see the, you know, larger things in the foreground. It goes back and gets quite small. Like it's gradual. We can see it in the trees in particular. Um, so yeah, really great and a nice busy room. So yeah, 14 out of 15. Excellent score. That's it before personal. Wow, we're already at personal. Okay, let's see. So, okay, and so this lineup you did last year too, right? So this was
Yeah.
really like them, and yeah, of course, why wouldn't you uh use it again? Oh, I didn't realize this. That's great. What a fun idea. And then are these ones new or did I just not see these?
No, I think I just edit, like I try to show my process behind because
Yeah,
like last year I only submitted like the completed version, but I just wanted to show my progress behind it.
sure. Yeah, that's great. I think progress is always great to show character silhouettes, like treat it as if you're a professional, and that is exactly what a professional would do, right? They would do many of
Mhm.
these before deciding on their final. So even if this is something you do after, if you've already designed them, like it's still worth doing. Show that you can do more than just what that finished product is, especially for the personal work. Okay, wonderful. So again, I think a bunch of these you used last year too, and they did great then. So absolutely, let's reuse them. Um, this one's really fun. I like how with this one you took one environment and then you lit it differently. Was this your own idea, Grazia? Did you kind of see an example of this and you're like, "Ooh, I want to try that," or
Yeah, I think it was from a cat size class that she just had this exercise to like just show, take a picture and just draw it and paint
yeah,
it and
Oh,
like
that's
change the
great.
different environments. So yeah, it's I feel like it's a really fun exercise to
Hmm.
understand lighting and color.
Yeah. That's great. Takes a lot of work too. Depends on how, I remember like with this kind of thing, you really need to manage your layers really well so that you can kind of change the
Yeah,
lighting each time and stuff. But that's great. Or have like a neutral. You have one that's kind of more of a normal, and then you can add lots of lighting on top.
yeah.
Yeah, great little scenes from a city or town. Nice mixture of kind of real life studies and then imaginative work. This is a
Hmm.
nice little piece that also shows a bit more of a linear style too. So okay, and then we've got a little. So you've got so many stories. This is what I like. You've got that one up there. You've got this one, and then this one too. Wow, so great. You've been at this for a while, as we can see. Um, two best friends prepare to take an exam. It's not as easy as they expected. So yeah, to have this little. I love this how you have the nice like final storyboard here, and then these little thumbnails of the storyboard, and then just some more sketches of character interaction type stuff, more variation. It's a nice like thorough personal piece with lots of. There's lots to it. There's a whole little world here.
Hmm.
It's great. Really nice. For some reason, I don't remember seeing this one as much. I've seen it in your animation, or at least a scene or two, but the actual full arrangement of this feels new to me for some reason. Um,
Yeah, I think it was like a last moment thing
mm,
because like since I compiled all of my digital pieces like last year I had like one and two other paintings that I submitted like one different like a personal work and the other as a other personal work piece. But this
okay,
time since I compiled all of them I was like, oh maybe I could just film it. But I remember that I did this
yeah,
short film, so yeah,
mhm.
I went back and just had to find all of these files.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I feel like I do this, unfortunately, at least with a lot of my earlier work in my career, I didn't have good file management and I can't find it.
Hmm.
I mean, it's on some hard drive somewhere, of course, or even like a DVD maybe, but I it's really file management is really underrated. I feel
Yeah,
like
it is.
it is
It
super
is.
important, especially when you have this much work. Like each one of these is its own like PSD. Well, okay, Blender file perhaps in this case, but yeah, like all of these are their own image file. So wow, you really need to keep on track. Oh, nice. I love this. It's like little keyframes from the story, almost like a color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a
Yeah.
color
Yeah.
script. Oh, that's great. Nice to see the kind of the mood change throughout. Really nice. Is this Blender that you did this 3D
Yeah,
drawing?
it is Blender.
Great. Always nice to show a little bit of Blender. And you don't need anything like super high res or fancy or crazy materials or anything. Just something, very simple like this is great. It shows that you're kind of thinking of space and kind of using that as inspiration in your 2D work. Yeah, really great. Wow. Wonderful. And now let's have a look at your animated personal work. So I'm actually just going to share, I'm going to try to share again, but with audio so that we can, there we go. Hopefully the audio will play here. Um, yeah, this one. So this is a graphic novel that you've made into a
And when he
little
gave it
short
to me,
animation. It's so great.
Yeah.
in the eyes, he also gave me an extra day to give him back this one. I think he also likes me. And he's so cute. Don't you think, Wendy?
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I could take an extra day to watch it.
What? Stop it! What are you doing? Hmm. Hmm.
A great shot variety in this. Really fun.
Surprise! Oh, come on, Rose. It was a joke. I swear I was just joking.
Why are you acting like this? I don't understand it. I'm your friend. You can tell me anything. Like, anything. Don't you trust me?
It's not that. I think this is the last summer I'm going to be here, and I want to spend all the time together that we have.
I'm gonna miss you. But for now, you're stuck with me.
Cool.
Cool!
Ah! I guess I really deserved that.
No more dumb dudes. Just for this one summer.
Great. And you had some friends do the voiceovers, right?
Yeah, they did.
There, they get a shout out too. That's great. So I'm curious, I've read this, but a while ago. How closely does it resemble the graphic novel, or did you totally kind of take it in a different direction?
I think I just took the inspiration from the panels, but I just
Yeah.
added the dialogue. I read the novel, but I don't remember. I don't think that the other friend is leaving for the summer. I just added
Okay,
that so she
sure.
could have like the motivation to act
Mhm.
like a little bit more mischievous.
Yeah, that's great. It feels very professional. I love that you're doing a lot with depth of field, changing camera angles a lot, low angles, high angles. What software did you use to, well, in all of it, I guess. Like, was it just one or multiple
Uh,
or?
yeah, I think for the thumbnail part it was Photoshop, but I also moved it to Storyboard Pro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Storyboard Pro. Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's how you composited it. Awesome.
Yeah, it's easier to add the like the lines and the sounds. Yeah, it's easier.
Sure. Okay, great. So let's have a look at your demo reel.
He'll never change. Ever since he was 9, always the same. Couldn't keep his hands out of the cash drawer. But not our Jimmy. Couldn't be precious Jimmy.
So this is your short film,
Yeah.
a little scene from it. Mhm. Oh, I'm so glad you kept this in. I love this
Yeah.
scene. Just a little loop. Mhm. Great. Wow. I feel like that's a really nice length too. What is that for a reel? Oh yeah, it's like just over a minute. That's kind of perfect. I feel like for a reel where there's all these different animations, I think that
Mhm.
like a minute or even less is, I think, just, all you need. That can
Mhm.
even 10 seconds of animation, if you really just pump time into it, you can really make it wonderful. Let's see. So then there's your sketchbook, which I think, yeah, here it is. Great. Um, okay, so you've got some last, it's almost like the last summer, last
Yeah.
train ride. So looks like you wanted a little redo on his face. So just your point of view shot here. Oh, this is the end. Oops, I need to go to the beginning. Um, okay, so nice, some different compositions, characters. Ah, some more point of view shots with subway, people in different environments. Oh, cool. Concert. That's fun.
Yeah. A
This is almost like
comic
a
that
little,
I did.
yeah, a little biographical kind of comic. That's fun.
Mhm.
Great. Wow, difficult scene. These are always tricky scenes where you're drawing like a whole thing. There's things blocking other things and kind of need to determine how much space everything needs to occupy. Very tricky, but yeah, you made this. Made it seem easy, Grazia. Nice. Very fun. Oh, this is great. Poses in motion, especially something as dynamic as skateboarding. This is a great idea. Very animatable, you know, it almost feels like you're planning out a sequence of animation. Nice. Airplane, looks like. Or bus, maybe?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was an art.
Yeah. Great. Nice to see some different mediums too that you're playing with, or even different colors. That's great. Some more observational, some more caricature rather. Nice. Got some color work in there. Wow, a crowd scene. Holy, this would take a long time.
It took, yeah.
Nice. I like how you actually have a fair amount of like comic like work or storyboard. Like you have a
Mhm.
lot of sequential narratives, which is really
Mhm.
nice. Great. Wow, you've got a lot too. Oh, I love drawing musicians. It's always fun.
Yeah, they're so fun to draw.
Wonderful. Okay, great. I think that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, fantastic, Grazia. So, wow, this is really just such a tremendous amount of work. Like, it's almost like this is your whole portfolio after having gone through animation school. Wow. Well, I just have those last few questions. So, if you could do the whole thing again, not that you'd want to do it a fourth time, but if you could do it again, what would you do differently?
Or I'll say maybe I'll just start a bit earlier. I don't
Yeah,
know. Well, I personally had like work that I had to do like on
yeah,
my 9 to 5. So yeah, I feel
sure.
like if I'll just because like the ideas change so much during the process that sometimes you expect it to be like this is the idea, but then it changes
Yeah,
because like you think that it will work better. So yeah,
sure.
even if you think that you start earlier, maybe start a bit earlier.
Even
So
earlier. Can't start early enough.
yeah.
I'm so grateful whenever I hear of a parent or a student reach out to me and it's grade 11. I'm like, oh, good, grade 11. Like it's not your final year. Because there's so many people that they just think about this in their final year, of course. And also, if there's anyone watching that is in their final year, it's totally fine. You know, you do what you can. It's always worth applying no matter
Yeah.
what. But like, if you can start a year out, at least from the time that you're applying, I mean, look at this quality that is required these days, and this was only a 14 out of 15. So yeah, it's just wow. They really want the best of the best, don't they? Um, and I'm so glad you're going there next year, Grazia. That's so great. Um, so was there some advice that someone gave you that was really critical for you?
I would say not like specifically of someone, but rather like just the thing that I heard, like just keep pushing. And this was my third time applying, and
Yeah,
I even like from the first time that I did it, I sometimes didn't understand the process, but yeah, it's a bit difficult sometimes to predict. Even like for
yeah,
me as an internationalist, it's so difficult to predict what they will grade the portfolio. This year
yeah.
was so different than the other years.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I
100%.
just like don't get discouraged and just keep doing what you think is the
Yeah,
best for you. And like sometimes it's okay to change your mind in the process. Like even if like during the process you think that this is not really for me. It's okay
yeah,
like to analyze that answer that your mind is given to you. But
yeah,
it's a hard process, but for me, like yeah, I'll keep doing this because this is
yeah,
what I really enjoyed.
yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
so great. And also like I think it's I don't think any artist will ever have, let me rephrase this. I don't think any artist will ever be totally absent of doubt. I think everyone has doubt about
Yeah.
being in a field that is so somewhat ambiguous, I guess, and just like there's just so many different approaches to it and styles
Yeah.
and subject matter that you could study. Like and ways of studying and even between fine art and animation, there is a
Mhm.
giant chasm, right? Like for somebody that's a traditional painter, to all the way to a digital animator, it's like, wow, that is a giant, giant difference. And you might have nothing to say to each. Well, probably there would be some things to chat about, but you could be very different people. Even between illustration and animation, I found that students were quite different actually than one another, like very different outlooks and backgrounds. And yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Just like keep going. What do you feel was your strongest and your weakest parts of your portfolio?
I will say personal work. I've heard so many
For
times that
strongest?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my strongest it was
Mm.
personal work that
Yeah.
sometimes they decide like if your personal work is good, but I don't know, like I just feel that I had a lot of fun doing all of my pieces. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's so
that's
good.
what that's what I also like feel that that's my strongest because I had so much fun doing them. So
Yeah. And when we look at it all together, this is obviously only the images here. Like even though you applied 3 times, you were not static in those 3 years. It looks like you were just continuing to make, produce, produce, produce. You were still actively ramping up each year, maybe around portfolio time, probably much more in advance of it to make new work. So that is fantastic. How about your weakest?
I would say the animation, but
Wow.
based on my score, I like it. I feel like I like my portfolio, but
Mhm.
I don't feel like I'm not like since the beginning. I feel like I'm not really a good animator. Like I try to practice and all of that, but I don't know. Maybe I will should have like added more in betweens or
Sure.
change the composition. I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah, I feel like
Hmm.
from all of them. Yeah,
Sure.
but I still like it.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think I would love if they would increase the length and just give it a second. That's like say up to
Mhm.
10 seconds. Do what you
Mhm.
want, but up to 10 seconds of animate. I mean, 10 seconds, it's not going to take that long to watch. I mean, the storyboard that they added, the 12 panel storyboard, I bet this probably takes longer to go through than 10 seconds. So I don't know. I feel like they should just increase the animation length, let people do a proper job of it, and just explain to animate on twos and just give all the details because I find that section especially vaguely described. And I don't understand why. So, last question. With unlimited resources and staff at your disposal, what would be the animated production that you would make, Grazia?
I think something like based like on my cheat day story or something
Yeah.
similar with like I don't know like the life in high school and being a girl and
Mm.
all the drama gossip that comes with the age and all
Right.
the struggles. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that it's a fun thing to do and
Yeah.
well it's so difficult to grow up being a woman, but yeah, I
Yeah.
find it like it will be something that I'll like to do.
That's great. Yeah. And I find that that age in particular, there's never enough stories because
Yeah.
there's so many things
Yeah.
that people go through and just, it's such a pivotal time, like different decisions that you make and how that impacts like the rest of your life is just so,
Mhm.
everything's amped up in that time. And yeah, there's all this inherent drama. So it's no surprise that we see it depicted so much in TV and film. So
Mhm.
great. Okay, well, here it is, folks. If there's any Hollywood execs watching, here's the story pitch right here. You can have a look, or at least the beginning of it. Wonderful, Grazia. Well, thanks so much for sharing your portfolio. It's so nice to see it again, all in one nice organized piece. Yeah, so excited to see what you make at Sheridan next year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm also excited.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much, and yeah, take care, Grazia.
Bye.